I am here with Wills McGuigan, graduate of the Business Accelerator. Wills, tell me about you. Where are you from? What do you do?
Okay, good to be here, Brian. I'm from the south coast of England, from Brighton. I was actually born in London, but I grew up down in Brighton. And I came back to London to do a university degree in drama with mathematics, which is a strange combination, but there was kind of method to that ultimately, because I wound up as a video editor. So it's a kind of creative and sort of technical job. So I could use both sides of my brain. So yeah, and travelled the world for a few years. I worked in social care for about 7 years in Brighton and London as well. But when the crash happened, things started to get difficult. I was getting pay cuts at work. We all were. The sector was really suffering. It was making it hard for me to keep hold of my flat. And at the time, actually, I was listening to a lot of London Real and Tim Ferriss, and there's this whole idea of choosing yourself from James Altucher. And realised that I had to kind of act. I had to kind of make something happen. So music and film had always been my passion. So I went out and bought some basic equipment, some editing software, learned how to use it, and just kind of put the word out amongst friends. I was up for filming stuff, for filming anything. And yeah, there's a demand, isn't there, for online video. So I just kind of followed that, was doing it alongside my day job, doing it weekends and evenings and things like that. And yeah, in sort of summer 2015, I decided to take the leap and just go for it full time. So I left my day job on a sabbatical basis, actually, so I had that safety net in case I needed to get back to it. But yeah, I never went back. And in the meantime, the Business Accelerator happened.
I find that most people that join the course kind of had a transformation happening inside of them. Yeah. Was something like that going on with you at the same time, where you were trying to decide where you wanted to take the business, or something going on in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. When I started hitting the video work full time, I was painfully aware that there were gaps in my knowledge. Social media was always something that I used at kind of arm's length. I didn't have really any sense of how to harness social media or the internet, really. I was spending so much time trying to skill myself up, filming and editing, that I was aware that there were these huge sort of gaps in my knowledge, which is why the Business Accelerator seemed like a good fit, because it promised to fill in those gaps, and it did, and some.
And why London Real? How did you find out about us? You said you kind of saw our interview with Tim Ferriss and things like that, but why London Real?
Why London Real? I was a huge podcast addict. I was consuming hours of it. I moved up to London. I thought, well, London Real, that looks cool. And actually, it was Bruce Parry, the first one I saw, and I was a huge Bruce Parry fan anyway. And I just thought that was just the coolest conversation, because he's an interesting guy anyway, but you guys had your own perspective as well, because you were bringing to the table your experiences of psychedelics and stuff that that he'd done sort of live on camera. And I just thought that was interesting conversation. I'm not going to find that in mainstream media, like a real long form, get down to the nuts and bolts of it. And yeah, from there I started digging into your archive and sort of following the rest. And yeah, Tim Ferriss was a huge one for me, James Altucher. Yeah, there's been many. I just think it's, like I say, it's not something that you find on mainstream media. Long form, it's in depth, it gets down to the nuts and bolts of these thought leaders. This is the amazing thing about the internet, is the unprecedented access we have to these people at the top of their game and their kind of routines and thought processes, and you'd be a fool not to take notice of them.
Yeah.
And London Real is a gateway to be able to do that.
Now, why the Business Accelerator? Because it's an investment in time, it's an investment in money. You had to really think about it before you pulled the trigger. But what made you decide to actually go ahead with it?
Well, because I had those skills gaps that I needed to fill one way or the other, and by then, I guess, because London Real become a trusted brand to me. Do you know what I mean? I'd fully invested in all the free content that you're putting out, the kind of ethos behind London Real, everything you sort of stood for. It seemed to make sense, you know, like where I needed to plug these skills gaps. You know, why wouldn't I go with a brand offering that kind of product that I'd been following for years before and was kind of fully involved with? See what I mean?
Yeah. Tell me about those first 3 weeks in the course.
Well, yeah, it hits you like a train. It's just relentless. Like, I knew it would be tough. But man, week after week after week, when the modules hit, trying to keep up with that was just bonkers. Because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and the idea of just getting something done for the sake of getting it done without you know, worrying about that it's not perfect was a hard thing for me to get around at first. I really needed well, yeah, you and the team leader and other people to go, yeah, I mean, you can't, you're not going to create anything perfect here. You just need to do it because you're learning about these processes and move on to the next thing.
What were the other members of the class like? And what did you think when you saw them posting the videos on Facebook and commenting and all that?
They're an incredibly supportive group of people. Yeah, I mean, people were bringing to the table all kinds of skill sets. So we were learning not just from you guys, from London Real and the tutors, but from each other. People were finding solutions to things that was really helpful. And then we had the smaller group as well, in the, you know, a kind of group within a group. Yeah, they were great, you know, and people I'm going to be obviously staying in touch with.
What was the big win for you? Or what was a good week for you, or a good module where you were like, I got this one down? How were your vlogs? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, the vlogs was that's another example of me really wanting to nail it, and because I'm a video guy, I took a long time over wanted them to look good. I'm a video guy; they need to be better than your average kind of shaky phone vlog. Do you know what I mean? So I was adding a few kind of credits and things, and you know, making it look a bit nice. But that was a time suck, you know. So I didn't hit my 10 vlogs in 10 days, but I did kind of realise the power of the vlog and had loads of ideas actually about the kind of things I want to vlog about in future, and just had this huge list accumulating of things I could do, vlogs I could make. You know, like that first vlog that we had to do, we were going to do a bit about a hero's journey, but the London ski show happened to be on during that week, and so I just got myself up to the ski show and did a vlog, wrote a blog about it, and yeah, have managed to hook up with some other businesses as a result of that. So I sort of immediately saw the power of it, and still chomping at the bit actually with vlogs, loads that I really want to get done, you know.
Biggest challenge on the course for you, what was it?
Biggest challenge was the week when you told us we had to make our free product within in time for next week was like, what? Are you serious? I can't make a whole product I didn't even have a week, because I was catching up on the last module, you know, so that ate up a few days as well, and I was like, how am I ever going to do this? So I just kind of dived into it, and I must have missed the bit where you or our team leaders or whoever advised us on the recommended length of the video, which was 2 or 3 minutes. So while everyone else had made sort of 2 or 3 minute videos, I'd made 3 like 12 to 15 minute videos. And my team leader was like, whoa, geez, like this is not free content. You know, this is the kind of stuff you could get paid for. You know, this is like a video course. So while I completely failed on the actual task at hand, I'd inadvertently created a product. So getting that feedback from Alex was great, because all it's going to take is just kind of to refine that a little bit, and I've got a product there. I've got a digital product. So yeah, that turned out okay in the end, even though had to go back and make the actual.
Right. Sounds like Jocko would say good
yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
And what do you think? What do you think are the big takeaways from the course that you're going to be using for the next year or 2 or 3 years? What are the things that will stick with you?
So many. Yeah, I mean, all those tools, and like I said, I didn't have a very good grip on how to promote myself, how to use social media, and my awareness of the world that I'm operating in has just, every week it expanded outwards like that. And so, yeah, I guess that's the main thing, my awareness of the business world, the online business world that I'm operating, and the tools I can use. Like, this course has given me so many different directions to go in now. Like I say, I'm chomping at the bit. I want to try them all out and see what kind of fits my actual business model, and then streamline. But at the moment, I am kind of, I've almost got kind of too much to do. Do you know what I mean? But that's a good problem to have. So I can try and exhaust all these avenues and see which ones get the most traction.
What if you bumped into Wills on the street, but you bumped into the guy that didn't take the course? How would he be acting different or doing things different than you are now?
He would be pissing in the dark, if that's even a phrase, I don't know. But yeah, just if you're walking around with a good video production and good video editing skill set, but with no way of telling people about it, you know, just no way of really kind of connecting with customers and potential partners. A little bit lost at sea, you know, without all those kind of tools.
Did you need to be in London for this course, or could you have been anywhere in the world?
No, yeah, people were from all over the world on the course. Yeah, I mean, it's set up in a way that you can be literally anywhere with an internet connection.
Right.
No, not at all. Yeah, you could be anywhere.
And what about time? Was some people saying there wasn't enough time, and some people said they had time? Is not enough time a good reason not to take this course?
People said there was enough time.
No, but a lot of people said there wasn't enough time.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I don't think anyone that said like, the opposite. Yeah, you need time. I would say if you have a full-time job, you need to try and arrange for some time off during that period as much as possible to fully, to really kind of get the most out of it. I think you need to minimise on that as much as possible, as much as you can, because it's a lot to do. There isn't enough time. I was kind of up till the early hours, up early in the morning. It was the last thing I thought about before I went to sleep. It was the first thing I was thinking about in the morning. You know, it was just a train, bang, bang, bang. You know, and if you've got like another job alongside that, wow, you know, it's a challenge.
If someone's listening to us now and they're thinking about taking the course and thinking about not taking it, what advice do you give to them?
I would say you've got to jump in. If, like me, you're worried about how much it costs and that kind of investment, like I was, it wasn't cheap for me. What you get back in terms of the knowledge and the skills and the tools that you get, and like I said, the whole new awareness of the world you're operating in, it's worth it. You know, it's so worth it. If you've got a good idea, but you know that you haven't got a grip on how to realise that idea, how to promote it, then yeah, this is the course for you. I think it's important to have an idea of your passions, and it needs to be something you're passionate about, because that will mean that you'll retain energy and you'll have some follow through. If you're not passionate about it, you're going to get tired really quickly. It needs to be something that you're plugged into and committed to.
And how are you going to be interacting with the rest of the class for the next year or so? How do you see yourself talking to them, or what are your plans?
Well, we're all still on the Facebook group. I've made a couple of guys I've kind of earmarked in terms of maybe kind of doing a joint venture stuff with in the future. There's a couple of other video guys on the course, and they're in London as well. I'm in Brighton, which isn't too far away, so there's potential there for maybe kind of doing some business together or creating something together. So yeah, on the business side, but also on the social side, and also just we're still doing it as and when problems come up. People are still posting on the Facebook group and sort of helping each other out. So it's like a support network that's there now, and make use of it.
Wills, it's been amazing having you on the course. Thanks for bringing the energy here and the great attitude. I can't wait to see where you're going to take your film production going forward and using all these tools. So make us proud.
I will do. Check me out at gopimpmypro.com. Have a look. We're doing some very cool editing of GoPro camera footage for people. So it's pretty slick, it's pretty sexy. I'm really excited about it, and yeah, just chomping at the bit. Yeah,
I love your micro niche. I loved it from the start. I think it's perfect. And again, that's the perfect example of a micro niche. As in, it's not too big, because like you said, there's like video guys everywhere.
Yeah.
But you're doing something and there's a real need for it, because a lot of people have this footage and don't know what to do with it. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's hours of it accumulating on people's hard drives, isn't there? So I figure let's try and take that editing burden off them and make something really quite snazzy. I think is about adding high production value to people's regular kind of holiday footage.
Yeah.
Pimping it up, pimp being the operative word.
I love it. Thanks, Wills. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. Much appreciated.
All right.
Cheers.